give me a take on the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Let's start with that.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that it would say thou shalt not commit murder or have murderous intent, because there's no. What do you say to a woman who has a stillborn child, maybe because she didn't follow prenatal rules? Did she kill? Is that, or is that, how do we consider that? Is she?
So you saying she commit? Did she
did she commit the sin of thou shalt not kill because it's so blatant, or because a lot of people can kill when it comes to not only humans but to animals. You accidentally kill an animal, thou shalt not kill. Is it specific only to humans? And did you have the intent to do it?
Right.
And if the accident is there, should you even be forgiven for something that you didn't have intent to do? And it's just going with the commandments on the Catholic side of things. What are your thoughts when it comes to those rules?
Yeah. And like I said, it coincides with the commandments, coincides with God's rules as man's rule. But when it comes to thou shalt not kill, I believe now you will have to go into the man's law, deeper into why thou shalt not kill. And they got laws in place, even when it deals with aborting a child, to where it's a certain stage that you can do it and you cannot do it. You know what I'm saying? So if you do it at a certain stage, then, it's saying that it's not at its very embryo state to where it's considered a human at that time.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Is Plan B considered?
But that's what
it's going against the natural order of things.
That's what man came up with. And when man comes up with things, most of the time it's going to go against the natural order. What is the natural order? Natural order is reproduction. You know what I'm saying? But God has given us all free will, free choice. And so I believe that a woman has free will and free choice over her own body. And that's something she has to deal with when it comes to the creator of aborting or keeping it. That's the woman's decision. You know what I'm saying? Because, that's the woman's decision.
How is suicide looked at in religion as far as someone taking their own life, exiting out, for whatever reason?
Yeah.
How is it looked?
Well, some religion would say suicide, you go to hell if you do suicide or whatever like that. I believe, and I would tell anyone that's thinking suicidal, then you just missing out on your purpose. You're missing out on your assignment. Because if you tap into that which is hidden, if you tap into that, you'll find your purpose in life. Or if you tap and say, God, I don't know what it is, because you feel like the pressures of life is on you to where you cannot bear it, and not realizing that you're strong. See, we all are strong.
But you understand the Muslims.
Yeah.
Suicidal missions, Japanese kamikaze.
Well, Muslims do it. Orthodox Muslims do it in the name of jihadists. Jihadists do it in the name of Allah. They do it because it's a common purpose behind it.
They feel like that is the purpose.
Believing that it's going to be an afterlife in paradise is why they do that, according to their religion that they adopted. That don't make it right. That just means that they have adopted a religion that psychologically has got in their head and said you need to die in the name of Allah for the cause. You willing to die for it. That's the core belief in their belief system. That's the Orthodox Muslim belief. You know what I'm saying? And so that right there is just their belief system that psychologically got them like that. And so that's the God that they serve, and they truly believe that they go into paradise when they do. Who are we to say they not? Because no man has a heaven or hell to put you in at the end of the day, and no man has seen God.
Come on. Earlier you said that there is always going to be scamming within religion. That's what you said.
That's all going to be done.
It's going to be done.
That's why God weighs the heart. And I want to express that on you. That's why God, the ancient African, the reason why I go back to ancient African, I'm going to say that later, but they weighed the heart with a feather. So it's based on the things that you did between the time you were born until the time you crossed over. And that's why they buried the pharaohs and the dead with the book of the dead, because it was buried with the very principles, the moral principles that they should have practiced while they was on earth. That's why it wasn't a commandment. It was an admonition. It was saying, God, I have not killed today. I have not did this. I have not did that. And so it's weighed on the feather. So to answer your question, the judgment part, it just depends on how you look at it and what you did in between time. That's good stuff.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so when it comes to those, again, for the topic at hand is religion and scam. When you see the pastors and the churches, when they're Gucci down, driving the best car, some of them have personal planes that they're moving around with. Do you feel that part is more on the scam part or more on the necessity of a leader in religion part? I
would say it's a scam now because there's so many people hurting. and I'd have became more mature in the word of God or in just God itself or the most divine to know that it's people out here hurting. And if you're going to have the heart of a Samaritan, then, if your members are hurting, what I'm saying, financially, then why is you flossing a Bentley? Why is you flossing money in front of your members? If you have members, it should be no member left behind. That's why I don't even fuck with churches to this day, because I don't have time for the foolishness. It should be no member left behind. It is people out here struggling. It is people out here can't pay their light bill. It's people out here can't pay their rent. It's people out here can't feed their children. But yet we would want them to come to church every Sunday and every Wednesday to pay their tithes and offering. Every Sunday and every Wednesday, they got to pay for gas to get there. They got to eat when they get home. All this stuff. It was time that I went to church with my mama, and man, we went home and we didn't have nothing in the icebox. We didn't have nothing but faith in God.
Did they feed you at church?
No, they didn't feed us at church. Sometimes they have special events, but what I'm saying is, if you're a pastor of a church, if you're a leader of a church, your main focus should be the congregation that come and feed, that comes and bring you tithes and offering, or just come. I believe that if you're going to be in a position as a pastor or as a believer, as a leader, then God should give you the provision for the vision that He's giving you. That means you should have meat in the store. You should have money in there. You should be set up as a nonprofit organization from the faith-based initiative where they can give you certain money to help the people that's on the streets. Because if they add some of their members, some of them might be sleeping in their cars. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So
what do you feel should be happening with the tithing and the offerings? What should be happening with that?
Well, it should just be meat in the storehouse. Somebody need it. If somebody been paying their tithes and offerings every week, or every 2 weeks, or whatever the case may be, they've been sowing into your ministry. Then if they come to you and say, "Hey, my light bill this month, I just don't know how I'm gonna pay it." No, it shouldn't be no just, we want to pray for you. No, no, I need my light bill paid. You know what I'm saying?
The Japanese practice what is called susu, meaning they, as a village, they'll pool their money together. Let's just say $100. Everybody put $100 a weekend or a day or whatever. And they will allow one person amongst the village to take the lump sum. As they keep pulling in, they will be able to get through everyone. Yeah. So as the whole village takes care of the village, basically. Some people call it a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme, but when it's done right, 3,000 members in the village, everyone pulling their money in, and everyone could benefit off of a lump sum of money. Right. Do you feel like if the churches did that, keep a stash of money where if someone needs their light bill done, do you feel like it'll handicap the congregation? Meaning that, I ain't gonna go to work because pastor gonna pay my bill. I ain't gonna go. I ain't gonna buy. My car battery. I need a new one. I ain't gonna buy one myself. I ain't gonna go to work because pastor gonna give me a new battery. Right. Do you feel that'll be the cause of that? Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have scammers that's in leadership and scammers that's from the congregation. That's just a part of scamming. You know what I'm saying? But I think the pastor should know his congregation, should know those that labor among him, that worship among him. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, Joker. It ain't really the church's really, I would say, that's not really the main focus of giving the church's money to someone that's lacking. My main focus is with any leadership or organization or institution, you should prepare your people with a skill set to be able to take care of themselves. Because you can weed out the goddamn foolishness in the church if you set up some program. And I can feed you a fish for today, but let me teach you how to fish so you can eat for tomorrow and feed your family as well as yourself. So I think churches should be set up to where they equip people with some type of skill set and ability or trade to where they can take care of themselves if they don't have it. And if they are in something where they got a stream of income, then maybe they're not making enough for their overhead. And if they are making a stream of income, then hey, we need to have some finances classes at the church that you could take on Wednesday night instead of having a goddamn Bible study. Let's have a Bible study on how to get your finances together. Let's have a Bible study on how to invest in the stock market. Let's have a Bible study on how to open up a goddamn SBA. Let's get an SBA loan. Let's have a Bible study on how to open up a DBA. Let's have a Bible study on how to open up a LLC. Let's have a Bible study on how to pay your goddamn taxes. Let's have a Bible study on how to sign a lease to a commercial building. What I'm saying is have business classes. That should be the main thing we have on Wednesday night is a business class. We can talk about that Bible shit on Sunday morning. Okay?
No, exactly. No,
if you like Bill Gates, we got to use the universal principles.